From the Communication Arts Building on the campus of Michigan State University, this is a special sports edition of Focal Point. Tonight on Focal Point, the Spartan football team is coming off a big win over Michigan. We'll show you highlights and talk about what's ahead for the squad. See how the men's soccer team handled number 1 Notre Dame, and we'll have highlights of the Spartan basketball team's big wins. All that and more coming up. Good evening, I'm Greg Monahan.
And I'm Alex Barhorst. Welcome to a special sports edition of Focal Point. All eyes were on Spartan Stadium last Saturday for the annual football rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State. The biggest game of the MSU season thus far went as well as the team could have hoped, as the Spartans dominated Michigan for 4 quarters on their way to a 29-6 victory. The story of the game was the suffocating Spartan defense, which held Michigan to -48 rushing yards, the least the Wolverines have ever put up in the program's storied 116-year history. Michigan quarterback Devin Gardner was sacked 7 times as Michigan never reached the Spartan end zone. Connor Cook led the Spartan offense, completing 18 of 33 passes while both throwing and running for a touchdown. Jeremy Langford ran for 125 yards, including a 40-yard run in the 4th quarter to put the game out of reach. Afterward, head coach Mark D'Antonio had a lot of praise for his team and his staff.
Defensively, we've just been dominant, really. They haven't scored a touchdown in the last 3 weeks, so we really have been dominant. And in this day and age in modern-day football, you just don't see that very often.
This year's victory marks the 5th time in 6 years that the Spartans have beaten Michigan for the Paul Bunyan Trophy. And they'll have a bye this weekend, and we'll have another huge matchup, this time against Nebraska, next Saturday. Coming off the big win, senior linebacker Denikos Allen was named Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. Allen had 9 tackles, 3 for a loss, and 2 sacks in the win over Michigan, and he becomes the 4th Michigan State defender to earn conference laurels this season. This is his first honor since winning Special Team Player of the Week awards as a freshman in 2010.
Well, the men's soccer team had some trouble on the other hand this week, facing number 1 ranked Notre Dame. Goalie Zach Bennett had 5 saves but couldn't keep up the Notre Dame offense. Harrison Shipp of the Fighting Irish sent a shot to the back of the net in the 59th minute, while less than a minute later, Vince Cicerelli got another shot on goal. The Spartans got off 15 shots on goal, but were unable to kick them to the back of the net.
For a good portion of that game, I think we did the right things, and that was promising. But those few slip-ups when we got punished, and they'll do that, so we got to get better on that for sure.
Junior forward Tim Kreitz was named the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week for the 2nd time last week. He currently ranks 2nd in the Big Ten with 20 total points this season.
The Spartan men's basketball team wrapped up their exhibition season on Monday, easily taking care of Indiana University of Pennsylvania. The Spartans were rolling from the opening tip when Brendan Dawson took a pass from Keith Appling for a game-opening alley-oop. And it was all Spartans after that. Sophomore guard Gary Harris was lights out, shooting 7 of 11 from the field, including 5 of 7 from behind the three-point line. His 21 points on the night led the Spartans to an easy 83-45 victory. But the team ended slowly, only scoring 5 points in the final 7 minutes, and that upset head coach Tom Izzo.
When I call 2 timeouts and we go out and turn the ball over, that's not going to be the way it is this year. So a little more soured on it because of that, but in all fairness, 32 pretty doggone good minutes.
The Spartans officially open the regular season tonight against McNeese State at 7 o'clock.
And the women's basketball team hosted Grand Valley State on Sunday, and their 2nd exhibition game victory was as lopsided as the first. A few of the men's team's members came out to watch the action, and they weren't disappointed with what they saw. The Spartans scored early and often in what amounted to be a 91-47 victory over the Lakers. While the Spartans leaned on their size and strength mismatches to score points in the paint, the jump shots were falling that night as well. Despite the one-sided victory, the Spartans coaching staff wasn't entirely pleased with the team's energy level and even thought the Wolverines could be at fault.
I felt like we were a little stagnant today. I don't know if it was like watching that football game and getting so excited about the Wolverines going down and then, just having it bounce back. But it's been a long weekend for us, too, because we've had recruits here as well.
The MSU men's hockey team successfully competed in a sweep of American International College last weekend. After a 5-4 victory on Friday, the Spartans had no trouble fending off their opponents Sunday, shutting out American International 4-0. MSU goalie Will Yanikev got the shutout, and Spartans moved the puck well all game long. Freshman Mackenzie McEachran scored 2 goals, one about 2 minutes into the second period and another early in the third. Senior Greg Wolf scored on an assist from forward Lee Reimer, right over the AIC goalie's shoulder into the corner of the net. And freshman Joe Cox had the last goal of the night, and that was from Dean Chelios.
You build momentum by not even realizing over time that you're taking these small steps and they turn into big gains. And for our team, that's what we need to do. So, successful weekend in that regard. I think guys got more playing experience.
The team is in Houghton, Michigan this weekend to take on Michigan Tech in another series. And after Jim Leland's retirement in October, the Detroit Tigers welcomed in their newest skipper. And it's a face some may recognize. The Tigers named Brad Ausmus as the team's new manager. Ausmus played for the Tigers for parts of 3 seasons from 1996 to 2000 and just retired from professional baseball 3 years ago. Though Ausmus has no professional managing experience, Tigers general manager Dave Dombrowski said Ausmus's knowledge of the game and reputation around the league got him the job.
Some fans are excited about the new hire, and for different reasons. In this week's Sidewalk Survey, we asked people on campus what they thought about the 44-year-old manager.
Well, I think it's obviously going to be a big transition because of, the things that Jim Leland did and how much he brought to the program.
I know that they got a new coach, and I don't really know anything else about that, but that's about all I know.
He looks like the exact opposite of Jim Leland.
Yeah, he's really good looking. Yeah, I think he's really cute.
Coach is a young man, and there'll be a new, fresh perspective, and he'll bring in a lot of new good ideas. Obviously, he can't replace what Leland did, but we'll see where it goes. I think it'll be a positive change.
But I think it's a good time to make the transition. I think it's going to be a positive move for him, and I think they'll do well.
So nice. We'll see. I mean, he's pretty good looking, so I hope that doesn't distract his ego from coaching the Tigers.
I think he looks like a baseball player. He doesn't look like he's old enough to be a manager to me. So that will be a very different dynamic from somebody as old as Jim Leland was.
Well, for some of the female Tigers fans, it seems as though they'll be an Ausmus fan no matter his managerial record. And that does it for our sports special on Focal Point.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and have a great weekend.